Right, so we have a lot to talk about today. So, as you know, the other day there was a midair collision between a military Black Hawk helicopter and a passenger jet. The passenger jet was carrying, I believe, 64 people. I'm not sure the crew of the Black Hawk off the top of my head. Anyways, it took about 12, 13 hours until President Trump came out and said it was because of DEI and because of Biden and Obama era policies for DEI. Yeah, like we aren't serious people right now. We are not serious. Like I'm not gonna bury the lead here. Let's just watch the video of the executive order that Trump signed. So this is after the
Second.
this is after the press conference where he initially came out and gave his initial thoughts, and he railed against DEI and basically insinuated it was all DEI and DEI's fault. With no proof, nothing whatsoever. So I'm not against instantly politicizing issues. All right. Like both sides are guilty of it. So it's trying to say, oh, he's already politicizing it. That's not the problem. The problem is what he is politicizing it about. Fucking DEI. Like, are you kidding me? Like I said, I'm not against politicizing issues and tragedies that happen because at the end of the day, everything is politics. And if a tragedy happens, we should be exploring ways so we make sure that doesn't happen again. For example, every time there's a mass school shooting, people like me are going to come out and say, hey, maybe we should have better gun regulations. Anyways, let's watch the video of Trump signing an executive order basically blaming Biden and DEI for the flight dangers. Let's watch.
For your signature, we have a presidential memorandum titled Immediate Assessment of Aviation Safety. In light of the damage done to aviation safety by the Biden administration's DEI and woke policies, what this presidential memorandum orders is for your Secretary of Transportation and FAA administrator, in this case acting FAA administrator, to basically ensure that we are actively undoing all of that damage, that we are assessing how much damage was done, and that we're ensuring that people hired within the FAA, in keeping with your memorandum of January 21st, are only the most outstanding, capable people for the jobs that they're being hired into.
In other words, competence.
Yes, sir. Elevating competence over everything.
Wow. We are just living in the most unserious timeline ever. We have people in the White House, in the Oval Office, handing the president bills saying, this is against woke and DEI. Like, what are we doing? We are so not serious as a country. It just like makes my mind go blank, honestly. Like, it's hard to fight this stuff because you ever just see something so stupid where it kind of makes you stupid and your mind just goes blank because you just can't process what the fuck is happening. That's about where I'm at. All right. So a lot of this is in response to what we have here. FAA diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. So they're pretending like we're hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities for air traffic controllers and these, very crucial positions that are life and death. That's where they think these people are going. Wrong. No, there's no proof of that. There's no evidence of that. These people are becoming janitors, secretaries, security, just general administrative positions. They aren't becoming fucking air traffic controllers. Like, let's be real. Like, they're just making stuff up. They're seeing how far they can push this DEI and woke fear mongering and just literally blaming everything on it. They have to be, Trump and all of his cronies have to be laughing at us behind the scenes. They know what they're doing. They don't actually think it was DEI. like, they're laughing at us. We're so stupid, man. Like, we're so stupid. So, let's talk about a few things. First, within Trump's first week of office, he fired the head of the Transportation Security Administration, fired the entire Aviation Security Advisory Committee, froze hiring of all air traffic controllers, and fired 100 top FAA security officers. And he's trying to blame DEI. All right. First point. I am not saying that these policies that Trump implemented on his first week of office had anything to do with that crash. That crash definitely could have happened under the watch of Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. So I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if we're going to politicize this, the problem is policies like you signed in your first week of office. Again, I'm not saying they are directly responsible, but in the long run, policies like this are what caused things like that to happen. I believe we were already, I don't have the report in front of me or actual like numbers, so do your own research on this, as you should for anything I say. And like Republicans, I want you to research and fact check me and tell me if I'm wrong. I'll own it. Anyways, so do your own research on that. But I think we were already short. Like the FAA was already short like 3,000 air traffic controllers to begin with. And then, Trump and the Republicans come in and start gutting the entire government and putting spending freezes and all this ridiculous nonsense. So, yeah, like it's ridiculous. Last thing I want to show you here is these stories just write themselves, man. Charlie Kirk, our darling Charlie Kirk. Trump's like fucking right-hand man, almost. That's Elon Musk, but Charlie Kirk's up there. He was just on a fucking flight with JD Vance. Anyways, so, breaking. Initial FAA report indicates staffing at Air Control Tower was not normal. Staffing was not normal at Airport Tower, according to a preliminary FAA report. Staffing at the traffic control tower at Ronald Reagan National Airport was not normal for the time of day and volume of traffic, according to an internal preliminary Federal Aviation Administration safety report about the collision that was reviewed by the New York Times. The controller who was handling helicopters in the airport's vicinity Wednesday night was also instructing planes that were landing and departing from its runways. Those jobs typically are assigned to 2 controllers rather than 1. This increases the workload for air traffic controllers and can complicate the job. One reason is that the controllers can use different radio frequencies to communicate with pilots flying planes and pilots flying helicopters. While the controller is communicating with pilots of the helicopter and the jet, the 2 sets of pilots may not be able to hear each other. Yeah, so Charlie Kirk, if you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, he is a hardcore MAGA blowhard. Like, go read his X account. It's crazy. So he's saying this. I agree with everything. Like, it's almost like the FAA is understaffed, underfunded. So, why are you supporting an administration that wants to gut every federal agency? If you didn't know this, the FAA is a federal agency. It's one of those like invisible agencies that you don't really think about or know that's there, or realize how important they are. So, it's funny that he's sharing this. Like, when I first read the not normal quotes, I was just waiting for it to be like, oh, it was some black guy. He's fucking DEI hires. But no, this sounds like an accurate reading of the situation. So, what's your solution, Charlie Kirk? Yeah, I don't think you have one because you support, gutting the federal government, and that would include the FAA. So that's just funny. I wanted to share that with you. But this is just ridiculous. We are not serious as a country. We just aren't. Like, how How do you have a president who comes out within 12 hours and blames a fucking midair collision on DEI? I just don't get it. Just be a fucking leader, man. Like, if I was president, I would say something along the lines of like, as president, I do feel partially responsible. I have to do better. We have to do better and ensure something like this never happens again. Say something like that. Just be a normal fucking person. All right. I'm not saying that you are directly responsible. I made that clear. But like, just don't fucking blame. All he does is blame. Question. And I really want you to think about this, and I want you to put in the comments if you can find me an example. But can you think of any instance where Donald Trump has came out and admitted that he was wrong on something, or just issued an apology, or anything like that, or just took accountability for something? I challenge you to find me one example, because I don't think there is one, man. Like, it's a joke. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.